This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 909. I am Brian Kilby. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast since 1999. With me this week, Diecast is back.
Hey, everybody.
Chris is back.
Yep.
Rob is back.
Hello.
Don is back.
I'm here.
Matt's also back.
Don't sound so excited.
You know who's not back is John DeLuna.
So like I started like doing this like with like cause Diecast, Rob, and Chris weren't here last week, but if you're a new listener, you have no idea what I'm talking about. So technically we're all back. And this time, no force in the universe can stop me. So
Well, what about the rest of it? Like that covers you, but what about the rest of us?
I know, right?
I'm easily stopped.
Yeah. But yeah, so Diecast, Rob, and Chris were not here last week, all on assignment together.
Oh no, I was not on assignment with Diecast.
John,
You can tell him it's okay.
John, Matt, Don, and I held down the fort. Actually, I really enjoyed last week. I thought last week's episode was actually really fun. We broke format to talk really mostly about TFcon. So if you didn't check it out, go back to tfradio.net/908 to listen. Diecast.
I honestly
was
think we
great.
should break. I think we should break format more often. Honestly,
Yeah, I do too. Diecast, you were at TFcon. Do you have any quick thoughts?
Yeah, I listened to the show last week. It was great. Matt was talking about the writer Michael Hillscott or
Michael Charles Hill.
Michael Charles Hill. He actually came to one of the parties I went to at TFcon, and he was talking with us, and he basically said The Gambler was a GoBot episode that he redid for Transformers.
Really?
Really? Because I talked to him at length and he didn't mention that. That's very interesting.
I'm sure he has
Yeah,
more
it
than one
was-
story, Don.
Yeah.
It was super interesting. Super nice guy, and like Matt said, he didn't really know the fandom was this huge. He only found out about, a year or two ago. So he's still kind of in awe, like that so many people are interested in this thing he did 40 years ago.
why don't you people have lives?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's that plot point in Starscream's Brigade that has been bugging me for 35 years. So, I will find out the reason.
Yes, after he met Don, he'll probably never do another convention again.
Yeah.
But it was nice while it lasted.
I was polite. I didn't have to write a polite letter.
Yeah.
And for the exclusives, I got the 2 Ocular Max exclusives for Baldicus or whatever we're calling that combiner.
Mhm.
And I got the Fans Hobby Joseph Prime Obsidian Commander, because in one of the display cases they had the
Wing Saber.
And I'm like, man, they're gonna do an exclusive to go with that.
Yeah,
and it's gonna
definitely.
be
Definitely.
amazing. So I picked it up just in case.
Well, the problem is I liked the way it looked, but it's Energon Optimus. No variation of Energon Optimus I want to pay $300 for.
He looks good with Star Saber though.
I mean, I
Wing
saw
Saber.
several people walking around with that Obsidian thing, and the colors on that were
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous.
It looks great, but it's still an Energon Optimus, and it's like, that's my third less. I don't know what it is, but I just like
I
no.
love Energon Optimus.
I prefer calling him Grand Convoy. I think the name fits better.
Just the problem is, Fans Hobby. Like, I understand kind of why they did it, but they changed the proportions of the Optimus part of it, and like it might make the individual robot look better, but the super mode kind of suffers for not having the bulk of the original toy. Like, the original toy was definitely built around the proportions of the super robot, and Fans Hobby more went the opposite direction with this, and I think it was not the right choice.
The proportions on the individual robots still kind of wonky. I don't think there is any common ground they can find on that between individual and super robot. It's just a problem with the design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, so also don't want to forget to mention our Elf on a Shelf Warmer deal. I don't know.
I mean, it's a campaign.
Like, I wanted to say campaign, but like campaign makes it sound like it's about us, and it's not. It's about the kids. So
we're campaigning for Elf. Well, we're campaigning for Toys for Tots through Elf on a Shelf Warmer.
Yeah.
Like
So
it's a drive.
It's a drive.
Yeah, drive. That's good.
A drive. Yes, that's the way to put it. So for people who a lot of people who've been listening for a long time know, but like kids, I mean a lot to all of us, but you know, for me personally, I've worked at a nonprofit children's home. My kids are adopted. I mean, I had a really crappy childhood, so I like doing what I can to give back, and I think it's very important that we as toy collectors, like my kid, my 8-year-old, yesterday, she so wants to play with my Transformers. And she was like, Daddy, when are you going to let me when are you going to let me have one of your big Transformers? And she was talking about like Grand Max. And I'm like, honey, when I'm dead. But in a way, you know, like, you know, as collectors and, you know, adults, we have the ability to give back and share with kids, and we can help ourselves as well by taking those toys that are on the shelf warming, keeping newer toys from, you know, hitting our shelves, toys that are on clearance, toys that just aren't selling, you know, getting them off the shelf, getting them into the hands of kids that need them. I'll be honest, kids are not super picky. My kids are happy with toys from Dollar Tree. I would not recommend toys from Dollar Tree for Elf on a Shelf Warmer or toys for tots. But there are plenty of toys out there. If you have an Ollie's is full of... Yeah, yeah.
TJ Maxx.
Burlington.
Yeah, there are a ton of great toys out there that are readily available at inexpensive prices. I recommend getting toys on clearance because you can get more of them and help more kids. So pick up a toy, drop it in a box. If you take a picture and put it on social media, hashtag Elf on a Shelf Warmer. If I see it, I will reshare it. So we had at least one on Blue Sky already.
Nice.
So, yeah. So hashtag Elf on a Shelf Warmer. I need to share it more on social media. You have about a month left to really do this. This is the time when it really starts. I last week for the first time saw a Toys for Tots drop box, and they are on the... I normally see them out in the wild for about a month. So if you are in the United States, you have about a month to go. So help out a kid, pick up a toy, drop it in a box. Okay, let's jump to the news. And I'll be honest, I did not pre-read this one. So Chris, you're going to have to tell me more about this.
It's kind of been a thing for the last at least like 10 years, I would say, that Transformers gets nominated for a place in the National Toy Hall of Fame, and it never actually...
Was it He-Man last year?
Or a stick or something, I don't remember.
So Transformers finally got in.
Yeah, 1 year it literally was a stick.
But yay, we made it.
Yeah, and we never have to worry about it again.
Yeah, what does that net Hasbro?
I mean, you know, good press.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, they can also put it on their boxes, like, you know, like when someone wins an award, like an Oscar for a movie, they can put on the DVD box starring Academy Award winning XYZ. So they could put somewhere, like they used to put the Transformers Collectors Club logo, they could put somewhere Hall of Fame winner or something like that, just to juice it up a bit.
Yeah. I was going to make a reference to the Mattel Wicked toys, but I'm not going to do that.
My Little Pony also got in, and a card game called Phase 10 that I'd never heard of before, literally 30 seconds ago.
I've heard of Phase 10.
I've never played it, but I've heard
Me neither. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Transformers and My Little Pony, is that because they're so like tied together?
Well, I mean, maybe just somebody on the review committee this year is like, you know, we haven't put any Hasbro stuff in, so let's pick a boys and a girls one.
I would say Transformers, I mean, obviously they're both Hasbro, but they were hugely popular at the same time, like
Yeah.
even more so than like My Little Pony and G.I. Joe. The rise and fall of both brands, not fall, but the rise and decline and rise, they really go together much more so than other, Hasbro properties. So in my mind, they're almost like an obverse and reverse of the same coin.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, and I'll admit one of the nominees that didn't make it was the Choose Your Own Adventure books. I'm guessing so that's not the Find Your Fate books, though, right?
It's basically the same thing.
Basically,
It's the same premise, but it is a different brand.
Okay.
Losing to that would be like losing to the stick again.
Oh,
I gotta admit.
I agree. It's just those books have stuck with me for all these years for all the wrong reasons, because they frustrate me to no end, because I always got the bad endings to the point where I was doing it like I was playing a game of checkers. If I don't take my finger off the page, it doesn't count. So when I read the ending, I would go back to the previous page, and I still never got a good ending. So I'm glad they didn't win, but it's a testament to that style of book writing that irritates me 40 plus years later.
Yeah.
This really informs a lot about the person Don is today, if you just stop and think about it.
Really?
No, I just seemed like the thing to say. Love you, Don.
Yeah, so the only thing I remember about Find Your Fate is I had a misprinted Transformers one. It like started the book over again halfway through. I wish I still had it.
Now that's frustrating.
That is frustrating. And when you're a kid, like I was 7 when those came out. Like I was too like naive to like realize that something was wrong. But I did realize something was wrong, because it's not like I've discovered that as an adult. So I don't know. Okay, so we have what is possibly our first look at Age of the Primes Prima. Yeah.
This made me laugh, because if this isn't the best
it's
stolen
test
from
shot
the
colors.
factory test shot, like it has no head. It's great.
It's done been stolen.
This was not meant to be photographed and shared. I can
No,
tell
absolutely
you
not.
that.
Yeah, this they use the terminology now engineering pilots for these, and this would be like really early in the process, I would say, for like the way this is being presented.
It's like an EP1, but it's an EP05 because it has no head.
So like we've occasionally seen test shots in this stage also leak out without the heads, and I think that is in some way that is the person leaking them trying to obfuscate them a little bit by not having the head on there. But like
it's like the purple marker deal. I don't get it.
Well, some people may have gotten now. Chris, tell me if I'm wrong. Some people could have gotten a version that doesn't have a head on purpose. Some people could have gotten a one that does have the head, looking at different things.
Or the head has their name sharpied onto it, and they're just trying to keep themselves.
I mean, it's very possible that when these test shots were stamped out, like the first thing somebody did was take like a little ID tag stamp to the head or something, like a tracking number on it. We've seen the stuff with that like painted on at shows on more final samples. But like test shots also often have imprinted into them the phrase "not for sale," and they could have other identifying marks. So removing the head might be getting rid of something like that could help trace this back. But at the same time, like if they're running test shots of this right now, theoretically they're going to be able to know when that test shot was run and who was on the clock at the time. But like I don't think this is a matter of these being sent to someone particularly, Don. This is just like the factory ran these, and maybe somebody stood there and hit the button 2 more times, so a couple more of them popped out.
Now I'm looking at this figure, the full picture. Those feet are very Vector Prime to me. The big kind of. Well, at least maybe the original Vector Prime, more so than the recent Legacy release. Do you think
different?
Well, no, I'm just saying that's the vibe. Because I remember on Vector Prime, when you fold the feet up, he had those big, chunky, clod-stopping feet.
Well, he had gun barrel toes, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I guess in that way, I can kind of see a vague resemblance, but
yeah,
I think more than anything, it's just like they're all kind of styled the same way.
Okay.
What does this turn into?
Well, there's two wheels in the back of the
And the windshield on the back, so probably
Yeah.
some kind of truck.
Yeah. For
It's
some
just
reason, my
weird
brain
that the
went.
legs are so
Yeah.
out of, they're not symmetrical, and it's just
Well,
bothering
they're
me.
supposed to be. The problem is the toy's left leg has fallen off of the mushroom peg, and it's just been laid onto the hip joint, so that's making it look like it's a little bit higher up.
Yeah, I see that now. Wow.
Yeah, and if the legs look weirdly long, it looks to me like they are on a kind of offset joint that you can use to extend them, probably for transformation. The hip joints.
Probably so.
Yeah,
now,
so
looking at this figure, do you think there's one? Remember the episode of War Dawn? I think it was War Dawn. They had that one Prime that we've been calling all these years Nova
That was
Prime.
5 Faces of Darkness.
Yeah, that was
Five Faces of Darkness.
And it was Sentinel Prime.
It was Sentinel Prime. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't remember.
U-Haul bot.
Yeah, U-Haul.
Yeah,
bot.
U-Haul robot.
Do you think maybe there's something of that in this to get that? Because that's been a design fans have wanted for a long time.
I mean, I was kind of thinking that when I first saw this, and I wouldn't be surprised if they've engineered, a couple or three of the characters into the basic framework of this.
Yeah, basically gone through the old cartoon and looked at one-off models they made for the cartoon and incorporating that into, because they got 13 primes to fill, so they're going to have,
or at least 12.
So,
I mean, we already have the Vector Prime.
So
Yeah.
this is the test shot colors, but isn't it going to be orange and blue?
I mean,
I have no idea what colors
so
Prima would be.
for the cartoon, I think blue should be the predominant color.
But from the comic, wasn't Prima orangish yellow?
I mean, you might be thinking more of the representations of Primus.
I'm trying to remember. It's been forever since I read those. It's been 25 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And, I mean, the vehicle mode is probably going to have some association to probably the Sunbow designs because that's what there is to work from.
Yeah.
But the robot mode is obviously more styled toward modernized takes on these characters, where they're mythically powerful instead of just being some dudes in a sequence.
I like being some dudes. History is just some dudes over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing I wanted to talk about, and I honestly don't know why, because I have no affinity for the toy or the video game, but we have photos of Studio Series Transformers Devastation Optimus Prime.
Weren't you just saying we don't need any more Optimus Primes?
Yes, and I don't.
I sure did.
Yeah, and I hold to that.
Yeah, I don't need this one.
I don't need it, but there's something, I don't know. I like how the shoulders look. I like how the smokestacks kind of look. I like the shape of the head. There's if it's not quite Power Master Optimus Prime, it's not boxy enough.
Right.
But it's if I squint and you put a haiku in his belly, it's kind of
that this could be great value Genrai.
Yeah.
It looks
episode title.
It looks cheap to me.
Well, I mean,
It's a deluxe.
Yeah, comparatively, it is. It's a $25 toy.
Yeah, I just even the robot or the vehicle mode just doesn't do it for me. It looks very
authentic
class designed.
Yeah, the vehicle mode is not great.
The vehicle mode is definitely a weak point, and I think the wheels look way too small on it.
And the only thing that's cell shaded to match the game is the windows, the windshields, and
which is going to be a paint budget problem more than anything.
Yeah, we have that 35th anniversary Optimus Prime that's cell shaded all over, which is I understand.
We do.
Yeah.
I can deal with the cell shading if it's just on the windows because I want those gold and blue Battle Charger repaints.
So I just want to point out
them covered in cell shading. So if it's just on the windows, I think I'm okay.
Yeah. So I want to go back to what Diecast was saying, And what Chris responded with, yes, we do. The 42 to 45-year-olds have it, but the 38-year-olds who were 33 when this came out, they don't have it.
It just looks unfinished.
It is the lack of cell shading except on the windows. I feel like that contributes to that a lot. I am not opposed to having another animation style G1 Optimus Prime out there at the deluxe cost, because let's be honest, the Commander class is excellent. It may resurface without a trailer as a leader class figure sometime, but also that's going to be out of a lot of price ranges, especially for kids, and also just
kids don't buy these. It's not
people
literally
might
true.
People might buy them for kids, though.
Yeah. It's not
kids,
literally true.
But
kids might ask for them, and their parents will say no because it's too expensive. I think that's what we really mean when we say that kids can't afford like a leader class.
Okay,
This is a great figure to have on the shelves around Christmas time. You know, your cheap Optimus Prime, your Studio Series,
along with your Studio
Bumblebee.
Series Transformers 1 Optimus Prime and your Commander class Optimus Prime and your G1 Legacy Optimus Prime.
I mean, Commander class has basically sold out everywhere, so that's not really in contention right now. And I think I heard tell that this was supposed to be one of the A-level deluxes, so this probably will be replacing Transformers
Bumblebee.
1 Optimus.
Oh.
Probably replacing Transformers 1 Optimus in next year's product assortment.
I'm gonna
be everywhere.
I'm gonna have a slight aside here. So I was watching Five Faces of Darkness with my kids this weekend.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
Good parenting.
Yeah, and
do they like it?
No, they didn't care for it.
Okay.
They got to a killing. Like I walked away and they kept watching, and they made it through Killing Jar. Then they were like, oh, "We're good." It was on Pluto TV. My kid, my 5-year-old was very excited when she saw RC, and she's like, RC. But I think it's preposterous that we are here, 38 years later, or 40 years later, if you talk G1 Optimus Prime, and the characters that were on screen 40 years ago are the toys that are on the shelf now. I mean, this isn't Mickey Mouse. You know, things should evolve. Transformers did evolve for years, and it's so stagnant now because they're just making toys for middle-aged people. Okay.
So earlier this very day in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, I was talking with some of our Discord members about car robots in disguise Gigatron.
Yes.
And just how it is such an amazing toy, and it's such it condenses down the essence of what Transformers was at that time. It is the pinnacle of Beast Wars era toy development, because it's not just that it's a superposable toy that transforms into something else. It's a toy that uses every single moving part on it, articulation style and just functional hinges and whatnot, as a transformation joint. The whole toy is a big transformation joint. It just does whatever, but it's got the great robot mode, at least 2 solid alt modes, and then a bunch of other things
It's
they made
hand,
up.
a solid mode.
The hand is interesting. I was thinking the dragon and the jet, not in that order necessarily, but it is just, it so encapsulates where the toy development was at the time and how it had evolved over at that point, 15 years basically. So to look at that and then to go to what we have now is certainly technically more impressive in many respects. But I think Gigatron really encapsulates a level of innovation and creativity that for the most part we just don't get in Transformers, in newly designed Transformers anymore. And looking back at that stuff, it's we peaked early, guys, and we've just been on a downhill slide for a long time.
So something I mentioned in pre-show, Beast Wars Rampage. We'll never have another Rampage. Just how crazy, amazing, creative that design was. We'll never have that again.
Yeah,
I don't think Rampage is a great Transformer, but I understand what you mean.
Not a great Transformer.
Yeah, but the thing is that they're going to use budget as an excuse for lack of innovation.
But you don't have to have budget as an excuse to have Ultra Magnus
Right,
in his
but
G1 form, or Optimus
Right.
Prime in his G1 form, or any
Yeah,
of the Sure Shot
and
when we finally
honestly-
get him in his G1 form.
Honestly, a limited budget should drive innovation more than inhibit it, because the point should be to work within those boundaries and figure out everything you can possibly do to maximize what's available to you.
That's
Yeah.
how we got Cosmos last year.
Yes,
the year
yes,
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great innovation in a completely different way than Gigatron, but yes, you are absolutely right.
Well, one, Chris, bravo on the joke. I applaud it because you said maximize. I applaud you for that. But it's also the fact is, look at the third-party Legends class. Look at some of the transformations they do. I know it's not the same as the US. I'm just saying that's.
And look at the prices.
Yeah,
of
but
them.
like I'm not even.
I know.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm not talking about the design. I'm talking about like Transformers. It's stagnant because we're just doing G1 over and over again,
Right,
and third parties worse because they just do stuff Hasbro did over and over
know.
again. There's
I know,
there's no like they are. It's a cover band. Like there's nothing to it.
I mean,
I
it
mean,
it's
isn't
cover
anything
bands of
new,
cover
Brian,
bands.
because this toy that we're talking about right now is from Transformers Devastation, which itself is almost 10 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did appreciate what Paladin said about it on Blue Sky, which was with Reactivate Optimus Prime, War for Cybertron Optimus Prime, and this on the market at the same time. We have Optimus Primes from 3 video games that are not actually available to buy in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
We need more new IP. And I hate to say it, Transformers 1, as great as it was, is not new IP. Earthspark is mostly new IP.
Right. And what I was saying was, I know the price points don't coincide, but I was just saying, if you look at the third party scales and what they do in their smaller price points, there's some very innovative stuff. We've seen in the Hasbro markets, we've seen like that Starscream is incredibly innovative at the core class size.
But it's just Starscream, right? I mean, it's nothing. It's not new. Like Gigatron was new. Rampage was new.
I will take like rehashes of old characters if they are in what's the word I'm looking for? If they're realized in a way that is new and interesting, like not even just new and interesting for that character, but just new and interesting in general. I don't care what character it is, as long as the experience of that toy is something that like grabs me and is like, wow, I never thought they could or would do something like this to get from point A to point B here. Just anything like that. It doesn't necessarily have to always be new characters. I'm all for new characters, don't get me wrong, but
right.
Just for the point I'm trying to make, like the toys, the engineering, the thought process that goes into making the toys has just been the real thing that I felt is stagnant. That's not necessarily a character choice problem.
And the thing I'm trying to get across is that maybe Transformers don't sell to kids because they are being made for 50-year-old men.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they absolutely are.
Yeah, and I mean I totally agree that, but the problem is we're running into the same thing Power Rangers did. It's Mighty Morphin all over again, what with G1, and it's been that way. That's why you see so many people angry that Omega Prime was the first toy under the Fabulous 40. And there's people out there that I know, present company excluded, that are very, very angry about that. And G1 has gotten so much stuff, just say going back 5 years, versus other stuff from other areas of the fandom that get very little. We still haven't got a Slipstream that's a new mold.
It's the same problem that Power Rangers has, Dawn.
Exactly.
Is G1 was the height of its popularity. That's
right.
Like what,
and they're afraid
pop
to try
culture goes. That's what people recognize,
and they're afraid to try something new,
other than just the hardcore fans. So that's what they keep falling back on.
This was on the right path because he said, if it's new and it's innovative, like I really like that Reactivate Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Because it's not your standard Bumblebee. and it's just different and new, but it's still Bumblebee.
Right.
This Optimus Prime is just boring and plain, and
Right.
they just threw some cell shading on it to call it Devastation. Is
Well,
my opinion.
right.
So
Well-
if it was different and new and innovative, we probably wouldn't have this conversation about this toy. But the toy is just boring.
I mean, okay, so like part of why we are where we're at, is the people who are running Transformers essentially. Like I am a big fan of all the guys on the Transformers team. I'm super thankful for them for being, upfront with us and interacting with us. I have no problem with them personally, and I don't think they're doing anything wrong. Certainly not consciously doing anything wrong. The only problem is that the people who are doing this now are themselves fans of Transformers from their childhoods, and they're designing from that standpoint. Whereas up to, say, 10 years ago, probably, we were more getting people in that position who were fans of toys, who were toy designers, who were brought to Transformers and told to design for it. And that's more where you get the imagination and innovation in it, where people who are coming at it with a more fresh sense about it are bringing new ideas into it instead of trying to make the toy I wanted as a kid the best way I can make it now.
But it's also leadership, and it's leadership that says we want these versions of these characters from 40 years ago.
I don't think it's a fault on a design standpoint, because in a recent interview, I believe they said that like Studio Series 86 outsells the other Studio Series stuff. So
Guarantee
it's what people want, which is why they keep making it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I want to ask y'all a question. And I'm not trying to make us run long. Do you think if the Earthspark toys had been done more like your standard deluxes?
I don't think it's just Earthspark, but I get where you're going. It's
I mean
the quality, the engineering, the best effort, and the best material, the best design goes into Generations, and it doesn't go into anything else.
Right, because it's like we were talking about in pre-show about the Hasbro Dungeons and Dragons animated figures. They cost the same as a Marvel Legend, a Black Series, and a Joe Classified, and the quality was absolutely abysmal. Breaking out of the package, trying to just pull them out of the plastic clamshell or however they were tied in. I don't know why that Earthspark was not given the same care and dedication to make it something, because I think they could have done better and still stayed in that price point.
So my experience with their Spark toys has not been, I do not think that they were less in terms of care than Generations. Less budget, probably, yes. I've enjoyed just about all the Earthspark and Transformers 1 mass market stuff I have gotten.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah, at this point, because the market has shrunk to the point where we are the primary audience, we're having problems.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
this is a business model that works predicated on a whole bunch of things which do not exist anymore.
Exactly right.
Earthspark is a tie-in line for a cartoon that is only on Netflix. It was not on every television on every weekday in the country.
Or even on Cartoon Network. Yeah. There's no Commander class for the non-generation stuff. There's no Titan class for that. I lost my thought. There is not a focus on the non-generations, non-G1ified stuff. Back in the day, like Armada or Energon or whatever was going to be the big line at the time, and the G1 stuff might be like Spy Changers or Legend Scale toys
or the Odd Masterpiece.
Yeah, that was there to appeal to the old fogies like us, and it's flipped now. The higher end stuff is the stuff for the old fogies because of the disposable income, the power dynamic, whatever, and the new creative stuff it doesn't get the same focus or investment.
It was the movie toy lines basically where this happened, because like the movie toy lines made Transformers more mainstream. They made it more openly acceptable that like an older teenager or an adult would be buying Transformers toys. And those people who got in the habit of that after watching those movies and buying some of the toys kept buying some of those toys between when it was generations. And I think from that, we kind of rolled into where Hasbro's focus is the adult buying market more, because that's what they started to pick up with the movie line.
Yeah.
I would also suggest, and I may be wrong, that the movie line kind of, blowing up and expanding things like that also created an expectation for the kind of profits a Transformers line should make.
Absolutely.
That makes experimentation more
that first movie especially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look at Revenge of the Fallen's toy line. Like, that was expansive, and it was doing all kinds of things based on the money the 2007 line made, and the Revenge of the Fallen line certainly did not really follow suit. Iron Man had the same problem with its first two lines.
Yeah.
Basically
Yes, it did.
exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually basically got the conversation out of that really occurred to me when I saw that Devastation Optimus Prime.
And we got the format break I wanted. Woo!
Yeah, because again, I kind of like it, but it's illustrative of like all of my problems with Transformers.
I don't hate Devastation Optimus Prime. I think it's cool that they actually were able to condense down the visual identity of Studio Series 86 Optimus, the really Sunbow-inspired robot mode, into a deluxe with that kind of parts count. Like, of course, the truck mode's not going to look great as a result of that. Every Optimus Prime we've had that's tried to do anything remotely like this, the 2006 Deluxe Classics, the Robot Masters one, the hybrid style convoy, if you remember that.
Yep.
Like, none of those had good truck modes. That's just, it's hard to do that in something that makes like a cartoon looking robot because of those shapes being incompatible. But like, to get something out there at the $25 price point that brings that same visual identity in its robot mode, like, I think they accomplished pretty well with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the robot mode looks fine. It's just that, I have my Studio Series 86 Optimus.
Yes.
I am done with animation.
Yes.
Accurate
Done.
Optimus Primes.
Hey, well, you know what? If you're done with the animation Optimus Prime, you can get the Mix Mashers Optimus Prime. It's coming up.
Hey, speaking of G1 things that they've done before that don't sell.
What was this called before?
Hero
Mashers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing this again. And I don't understand why. Like, did they go back and say, "Hey, this sold well"? I can't see it.
I saw
Hats off to that one guy at Hasbro that is just absolutely married to the Zvoz toy concept and keeps trying to bring it back.
Well, I admire that guy's zeal.
Yeah.
I wish he would actually get it right.
Yeah.
They're very I don't want to say G1. They're almost evergreen.
Yeah, they're
So-
they're very much drawing from the evergreen art style, the brand pack. I can't remember the right words.
Trade dress.
One thing I do like about this is the Optimus Primal robot head. It looks really good, really accurate to the cartoon. That's like the one objectively positive thing I can say about this.
I just kind of straight up like the Megatron toy. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. I kind of like it on its own.
And you can pick it up at Ollie's next year.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Or Ross, yeah.
Yeah. In-hand images of Track Fleet Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, rather an extensive set of pictures taken from, I guess, somebody's video review of it. It looks pretty good. Just, it's shown next to some other Hot Wheels cars, and like, it's certainly not going to actually work for you as a car carrier for those. But I still think, like, if you have maybe some of the Micro Machines, yeah, that might pass visually.
We talked about these last week, the Hot Wheels, and like, it's just I'm already over it.
I'll get it. I kind of dig it. I kind of need him to go with Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in picking up the Ultra Magnus. I have not once seen these in a store.
Yeah, me.
I haven't looked. I don't go to the Hot Wheels aisle. I'm not that old yet. Dr. Wu Supersonic. Oh, it's Dr. Let me read this as it's written. Dr. Wu Impact Wave Supersonic and Explosion G1 Decibel and Graphy and Noise color prototype.
The Dr. Wu, they hit it on the head. They do a great job, and they're not too expensive. I think they're a lot better value than like
they're nice.
Than the Magic Square or the whatever the other company is, to where you're spending like New Age, you're like $75 for a tiny figure, and I know the New Age and the Magic Squares are good and they fill a hole and a lot of people love them. I'm just not crazy about the price point on them. But Dr. Wu does. I really like all their stuff that they do. I've never had one I got that I didn't like.
Yeah, I'm really into their cassette teams that they've been making.
Yeah, same. Like I got the Grand Slam and Rain Dance, so I'm and it turned out beautifully. So I'm definitely getting Graphy and Noise. I've already pre-ordered it.
I am more and more regretting I did not get in on these early because they all look really good.
Yeah, I didn't get Squawk Talking Beast Box, and you cannot find that now.
And that's a good set too. They also put out pictures of their like super-deformed style Metroplex and Metro Titan figures, and I may have pre-ordered the Metro Titan version of that too.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. I have the Triptychon one that they did.
You like
and
it?
He's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I figure it's probably the closest I'm going to get to a Metro Titan of any stripe, within any sort of reason. So, and it looks nice. I like Dr. Wu stuff. I don't buy a ton of it, but like the cassette teams run about $30 each. That's a really good price point for those to be at. I'm expecting that Metro Titan to be around 40-45 from Show Z. So like that's a pretty good spot to be in for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they sell out super quick. Like if you don't get them, they're gone.
Yeah. They're gone. Okay, new set of Transformers bag clips at Dollar Tree. I am way too excited for these.
Are they actually $1 or are they $1.25? $1.25. That's not bad.
If it's $1.25, that just kills it for me. If it was $1, but that quarter,
I don't think I would put these on my work backpack. I mean, no, like people know I'm a nerd. They know like Transformers. There's just something I don't find appealing so much about like carrying these around, but just I might put them on. I might stick a pin in the wall and put them on the wall as decorations. The ones I really like, I like the Maximal one. I like the Optimus Primal, even though it says Prime on it. I guess that's just Prime.
Yeah, I think.
And yeah, that's about it, honestly.
I kind of like the Megatron one too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm more with Brian. I like of the ones here, I would want to end up with the Maximal and the Optimus Primal one.
These would be great to put on luggage to be like, oh, there's mine.
Yeah. I don't care for the Grimlock.
Yeah. The Grimlock kind of looks like it's like video game style almost.
Yeah.
It looks kind of Fall of Cybertron-ish. Also, I don't know that I would trust putting these on luggage because those plastic clasps on there do not look like they're going to hold up to a whole lot.
Yeah. What do you mean? They're super gentle with my luggage. It comes out cracked at least like one every 3 plane rides.
Although, I mean, you probably could just break off the rings and clips these come with and put metal ones on there easily enough and like have it be a little bit more robust.
Or just glue it on. I'm just going to glue it on the luggage. Take the clip off completely. And
yeah, okay. I mean, that's an option too.
Let's jump to what we got this week. Matt.
Do you not want to mention the one odd off-topic thing, which is the crossover G.I. Joe item with Mattel?
Oh, you didn't put it in show notes. I didn't think about this at all.
I didn't. I only thought about it after we got started. I'm sorry.
Okay, so the Mattel Creations, it's more like Hasbro Pulse than HasLab, because they'll put stuff up for sale. And like it's a persistent site as well. So, but they'll put up drops for things that you can get for pre-order that have a limited quantity. And this past week, we have a Cobra Hiss and Sky Striker Mega Bloks set. It's pretty awesome.
I'm in trouble if they start doing G.I. Joe Mega Bloks.
We all are. We all are. We are so screwed.
So I don't like the fact that it's Mattel Creations and not retail makes me feel a little better that they may not. But if they sell really well, they might.
I feel like probably for the set this size, they're going Mattel Creations because like retail traction on this might be a little difficult, but I would certainly not be surprised to see like figure packs at least in the direct to consumer form through like Amazon Entertainment Earth, venues like that, and maybe like smaller building kits based on this. Like I don't think this is going to be a one and done.
No, because with like Halo, you can get like the Dune buggy with 1 or 2 figures, so we could definitely get a Vamp with a couple of Cobra Troopers. Like there are smaller packs that they could easily do. That
I want larger packs because they're so small.
Well,
I want these.
I want a Terrordrome.
I want a Terrordrome and a shuttle complex and
you have
flag.
a flag.
I thought y'all had the Trio Terrordrome.
That doesn't mean I don't want a Mega Bloks one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you would at least want the figures that come with the Mega Constructs one because they're way better than Creo figures.
Mega Constructs, the figures are way better than Creo.
Yeah,
they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Like I'm probably gonna get in on this when it goes live on Friday, and it's like 90% for the figures that it comes with.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
I'm going to 90% pay $80 for 4 little Mega Constructs figures because
for what Duke, Ace, Cobra Commander, and a Viper, I think. Yeah.
Python Patrol. Was it a Viper or Python Patrol?
It's not Python Patrol.
I don't remember what it was. Okay.
Anyway, I would say they could probably release just the Hiss component of this kit by itself as like a $20 or $25 set without any problem.
And this is an upgrade.
Yeah, it's not very big.
And this is a huge upgrade from like the really crappy dollar store construction block sets they've had.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. I'm excited and saddened. And God, when they do Transformers.
I've been seeing pictures of some of these minifigures floating around for several weeks now. So like I've just been kind of sitting here uncomfortably waiting for whenever this would actually materialize and be real. And my discomfort still exists. So mission accomplished.
So when they do Transformers, will the block set be like a vehicle and the figure be the robot, or will the figure be like a human, like Spike?
I mean, could do both.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would do Transformers because Transformers seems to be partnered up with Lego at the moment.
Right.
Fair. But
if you've never had these Mega Bloks figures before, they scale pretty nicely, not perfectly, but pretty nicely with your Masterpiece collection. So if you want to put your G.I. Joe guys next to your Masterpiece Transformers, that makes a pretty good display.
That would be pretty cool.
Honestly, they pass the squint test for most Generations toys too.
Okay, let's jump to what we got this week. I know Matt got his Fire Guts God Jinrai last week. Did you get anything this week?
No, I did not.
Oh, this may be quick. Don.
Yeah, the one thing I got this week on topic was core class Cybertron Starscream.
Bumblebee movie Starscream.
Bumblebee movie Starscream. Because I needed something to get me over the 6 months same as cash, 6 months in no interest on Amazon to get Agent Knight.
You know, you could have saved yourself a lot of trouble doing that. Yeah, by just not buying it.
Yeah.
It's Knight Rider. It's a crossover.
Don't open it.
Don't?
No.
Why?
It's crap.
Oh.
It's garbage.
Were you not here when Brian talked about his experience with the toy a few weeks ago?
It's the most disappointing toy that I've purchased in years.
Okay.
Hey, Mickey has also voiced his disappointment on social media.
Okay, I'll be honest. It's Knight Rider. It's a crossover. I don't remember it, Brian. But again, I don't remember a lot of things now.
Brian, did you not get Studio Series Steeljaw?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, that would
Okay,
explain
that
it then.
explains
But-
it then. Yes.
But I didn't have hopes and dreams wrapped up in Steeljaw either.
Okay, I'll give you that. Worst $12 I've ever spent on Transformers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's sad.
Diecast?
Oh yeah. So as you know, I broke the gun on my G1 toy Optimus Prime. So I went ahead and bit the bullet and got another one from Pulse. And Don, you'll love this. They sent me a free pack of Cobra Valkyrie and an officer and trooper. So I wrote them a polite letter saying, hey, you added something in my order that I didn't order or pay for. And they said, thank you for letting us know. You can keep it.
Nice.
Okay. I mean, that's a very nice set, and those Valkyries will that could be like Baroness's her elite
Yeah.
strike team or something.
And I'm pretty sure I have it already because I buy all the G.I. Joe stuff. So, but it's not a bad pack to have a second one of.
Right. Definitely, especially when you've got female Cobras, which is Baroness Zatarna, Zarena, whatever, and that's about it.
Yeah. And that's all I got Transformers wise.
Okay, Chris?
So I had been hoping for a while that we would get some kind of Hasbro release of the Legacy Armada Thundercracker, which, the Takara one came out recently. And unfortunately, Evan, I think through Instagram DMs with someone, kind of confirmed that there was no plans for that toy at this time or in the near future. So I think it was Wheeljack64 that pointed me in the direction of an AliExpress listing for Starscream S. So I decided, I'm gonna either get this now or it's gonna be really expensive at some point in the future to pick up, and I just bit the bullet on that. So that was about 2 weeks ago. It came in since the last time I was on the show. I have not taken it out of the package. I opened it up to make sure that it was okay and everything. Because Nathan Python Patroller had mentioned, like, when he got his, it came with the cannon broken, so I wanted to make sure I didn't get a repeat of that incident. But it looks really nice. The colors look spot on. They pop the way they should. I didn't realize, or I'd forgotten, that it also comes with copies of the Jetfire blast effects. So it's a little slight bonus in there. I don't think it really covers the difference in price point from the original release of Starscream up to what this ran me, which was about $70 with shipping. But compared to probably it gonna be double that sometime next year, when I would finally break down and be like, okay, this really isn't actually coming out through Hasbro, so I better just go get one. You do these things, and that is my favorite deco of that design, so I kind of had to have it. I'm just going to be really irritated when the next Japanese toy show they roll out the Armada Skywarp version. I have to do this all over again. But that's what I got Transformers since last time.
Take a drink. Rob?
Yeah, I got a few things. A week before last, Amazon, tfradio.net/Amazon finally shipped my Legacy G1 Optimus Prime. And I really like that. That is a nice figure. It is definitely very nice to have something that you can just sit and fiddle with without thinking, this has a lot of chrome parts, which tend to be fragile, and it cost me over $100. So yeah, just great to have sitting on my desk to mess with. Relatively easy to transform. I would be perfectly happy to see, we just said that we need to get away from G1 and do something new. I'd still love to see more toys like this. If we're going to be stuck in G1, this kind of G1 appeals to me. The other thing I got is a story to tell. I mentioned this on our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, but a couple of weeks ago, Adam Paulus from 16bit.com posted that the Thundertron 3-pack had finally been marked down. $45 for Thundertron for the Ratbat recolor and whatever current kind of Izers we have is. So I ordered it. FedEx and Walmart told me that it would be there in 2 days. It did not show up on Sunday, but I got a note saying it was delivered. And what after closer investigation, turned out to be an AI composite of my porch with a package I never got on it.
What?
Yeah. And okay, so I dismissed this for days because I thought that I was just being delusional and paranoid, as you might think. And then somebody else, I think it's Optby on Blue Sky, posted a picture saying, has FedEx been using AI for their package deliveries? Because these are the packages I got today. They are in the exact same position that they were on my porch, but this is not my porch. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. If anyone else has had a similar experience, let me know. I am desperately curious about this now. But the important thing is Walmart's customer service people were very nice and very friendly. And I think we were just, both so thrilled to be talking to nice people at that point in time that it was a great experience. I got the credit back. I reordered it and I got them.
That is insane. So I'm seeing an Optby's Blue Sky right now. I see that. That's crazy.
Yeah. I did post about it as well. If you can find it, there is a very blurry and not particularly incriminating photo of my porch that I added. So you can see, like some of the colors and structures that were adapted for this. But I also go through like a description of my porch to explain what the hell's going on with that photo, because it is so weird. But as to the figures themselves, Thundertron's pretty nice. I don't know how to feel about it. I think it makes a better cat. I guess it's supposed to be a lion. I can't even remember. Than the original Transformers Prime Voyager did. Also, the head sculpt, the head sculpt in the 3-pack is based on the retail version of Thundertron, as opposed to the like concept art one that the mass market version is getting. And that's because of a lack of paint. That sculpt on the original figure, which I reviewed for T-Formers many years ago, did not really scan. It was just incomprehensible mess of milky plastic. This, you can actually tell where face ends and beard begins, so it has a much better look to it. But yeah, it's a nice figure. Not bad to transform. I like that its little Ratbat recolor, whose name I keep forgetting, Night Strike, something like that, can just be mounted on his shoulder. That's pretty great. Also makes up for the fact that you used to kind of be able to approximate a parrot with his detachable foot on the original toy, and you can't do that now. So he's still got something to hang onto his shoulder. Of course, the Ratbat mold is the Ratbat mold. I like it. It looks good. Has some nice paint. And the fossilizer, whatever it is.
Rocklord,
yeah. I'm not big on it. Like, it's got the Iser problem of you're lucky to be able to transform it without it just, coming apart into component accessory bits in your hands, which just, I understand why. I understand what they're going with for those, and it didn't bother me on a lot of previous toys, but for some reason on rock cars, it does. But it's also a whole bunch of different pretty shades of blue. So if I was going to get one of these, this is the best possible way to do it. So yeah, that and Legacy Prime, I'm pretty sure, as much as I can remember, the what I've gotten since I was last on that's on topic.
Okay, I'm just fascinated though by your story.
Yeah, right.
You post way more to Blue Sky than I do, so it took me a minute to find it.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I post too much on Blue Sky.
Blue Sky is great.
It is.
It is so much better than it was. It's so much better than Twitter. Yeah, that's weird. That's such a weird story.
Yeah, like I said, I if this is actually a thing, I'm sure we're going to be seeing more of it, and I just want to see if. Basically, I want to see if more people have the story, so I can be sure I'm not just insane.
Yeah, I'm looking for news articles on it. I'm not seeing anything, but something will pop up.
Oh yeah.
So I got one thing. Diecast sent it to me. Diecast, what is it? Light up eyes for Lego Optimus Prime? Is that what it is? You're muted.
It's a new configuration for the Lego Optimus Prime head, so it doesn't look derpy.
Oh, okay.
So I have to send you the instructions on how to do it. I have them on my other computer. But yeah, it's super easy to do, and it makes it look 100 times better.
Sweet. When I finally put it together,
Yeah.
I will use this. Cool. Okay. I want to jump to off topic or ham sandwiches, which are our Patreon exclusive what we got this week segment. We'll go to Diecast first since he has to drop. Diecast, what ham sandwiches did you get this week?
Well, I went to Legion's Con over the weekend, but I was only able to go on Sunday because I got back from Vegas on Saturday. So I went to the con and I was having a great time walking around. There's tons of custom heads, stuff like that. This is one of the exclusives. It's a Snake Man.
Is
And
that from Mythic Legions?
Yeah, Mythic Legions. It sold out the first day. And I happened to be talking to a dealer and he asked me if I got the figure. And I was like, no, unfortunately, like I just got here today. I've only spent a couple hours here because I was traveling yesterday. He's like, oh, I have an extra one. If you want, I'll sell it to you at cost. So I got it. I'm really thankful. I couldn't find the guy's card. I was looking for it, but he gave it to me for cost. I bought a custom head from him. So I got that figure. There were 2 other boxed exclusives that I got. I got this little orange pumpkin head that pops on a figure. So I popped it on the Wall Tour, which is a Cosmic Legions figure. But I just like the way it looks. It's pretty cool. I got a bunch of custom heads and stuff that I have to go through my figures and figure out where I'm going to put them. One is actually like it's a skeleton head, but it's done as Darth Maul. So that one's pretty cool. And because I was there at the very end of the day, people were like cutting the prices by like $5-10. So I didn't spend a whole lot. But that's all I got.
Cool. Awesome. Matt, did you get anything?
Yeah, one thing. So I got my Shokugan modeling project Victory Mars. So now the GoGo 5 / Lightspeed Rescue mecha are complete. And that's it for me.
I also want to mention before Diecast goes, and he also got the HasLab Dragonfly.
Yes, yeah, I forgot about that.
Because I got that as well. Don,
I didn't open it, so it's easy to forget about it. Because
such a big box. How do you forget about it?
Well, I have nowhere to put the toy. That's what I'm trying to figure out, like before I open it. Because then I open it and I put it on the dining room table, and my wife is going to murder me.
Yeah, but that's what I got, and I know that Don is wanting the Wild Bill, and I did send him a message on Blue Sky. Look, I found these at Ollie's.
Actually, I'm getting the figures anyway. I didn't back the Dragonfly, but I am getting the figures.
How?
One of our people on our Discord bought 2, but he only wanted the Dragonfly. He didn't want the figures, so I'm getting the figures
the second one.
Yeah,
I get that. Okay, that I get.
So,
he wanted to. Okay.
I imagine a lot of people probably did that.
That's very
Double up
smart.
on the helicopters and sell the figures.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, cool.
What
else did you get, Don? What'd you get?
I didn't get a chance to bring him in before I got home. I picked up a G.I. Joe Tiger Paw. I had that 25% coupon at Target that runs out this week, and I went down there today and they had restocked. So I got another Tiger Paw. I'll probably sell the wreckage out of it. Picked up a Across the Spider-Verse Spider-Gwen because I like that new sculpt. And also found the McFarlane The Question, which is one of the Batman from his Batman and Amazing Friends line. And a few weeks ago when I showed off those Yu-Gi-Oh figures, apparently they had one left of the Exodia. And I was able to bring Exodia to my hand. I guess I found all 6 pieces. And so now I have the Exodia from my very, very small and probably not getting any bigger Yu-Gi-Oh collection.
Don, what is Batman and His Amazing Friends?
It's the McFarlane Multiverse line where it's like 90% Batman. That's the name that I call it. It's Todd McFarlane's his DC Universe is sort of like DC Universe Classics used to be.
Yeah, okay.
But it's just mostly that's just what I call it: Batman and His Amazing Friends.
So which version of is it like the animated question? Is it or is it?
It's more comic question, but outfit wise, it looks like the anime. The question didn't vary too much between.
No.
Well, I'm sorry, it's the male question.
Yeah.
Not when the mantle was passed.
Yeah.
So the outfit's very similar. The look is very similar, just not the Justice League Unlimited look. But I thought the question has always had it's just a very simple outfit with a suit, a shirt, a tie, and the mask. But it looks really good.
Yeah, cool. Chris.
Nope.
Rob?
At the moment, just some more random art books from Suragaya. I am a sucker for like costume design, something else I inherited from my mom, and they're just like fashion catalogs for MMOs.
Interesting.
So I got I'd already had one each for Dragon Quest X and Phantasy Star Online 2. I got some more of those, and I also got the 2015 fashion catalog for Final Fantasy 14.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay. I want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/TFradio. Patrons of Radio Free Cybertron get an ad-free version of Radio Free Cybertron every week. You get it a day early at a higher bit rate with the complete What We Got This Week segment on the podcast, including our non-Transformers content or ham sandwiches. You get the weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast. If there are any heavy edits, I'm going to edit this one for like a brain fart that I had. So that's not going to count. But if like Don goes crazy on Diecast and screams and yells at him, you'll get an unedited version of the show if you're a patron.
Because we shouldn't be the only ones to enjoy that.
I know. I wish the Meltdown should have been part of the show. Is the Meltdown on our Patreon? I don't remember.
I think that was an early Patreon perk. Like we put that up very early in the Patreon's life cycle.
Yeah. If you are on Discord, you get a fancy Discord color to go with.
It's red.
It's red.
The color is red.
Yeah. You get There Goes My Money a week early. That podcast. Patrons at the Touch tier get to be on There Goes My Money. And Touch patrons are mentioned on the show each week and listed at tfradio.net/credits. I want to thank these people now: Kevin Dorsey, Daniel Scott, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jake Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Here's Why It's Cool, Rabbits, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Trickster, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, and Mollusk Koenig. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Okay. Diecast just dropped, but he is at Diecast 2 on Twitter and at Blue Sky, I think. He is at RSC Reviews on YouTube and Reviews by Diecast on the Facebooks. John Naluda not here this week. He is at That John D everywhere. Rob Springer, never on the show. Not RSC, not anymore. I wish he was. It's been 15 years. But you can find him at RoboRobSpringer on Twitter, at zonebase.org, and at zonebase.bsky.social. You can find all of our stuff, all of our podcasts going back 25 years at tfradio.net. And you can find me at briankilby.com or at kilby.bsky.social. And I have to say, I'm gone from Twitter. I don't see myself going back because Blue Sky has like hit this tipping point to where it's like where Twitter was 15 years ago. It's awesome. And if you're somebody who wants engagement, I get far more like responses and people commenting and sharing like the tweets or whatever you want to call them on Blue Sky than I do on Twitter because it's not a mess. I really love Blue Sky. It's great. You should go there. And that's how you can get a hold of me. Matt, please tell me you're going to use Blue Sky more often.
I have been using Blue Sky more often. Still not like a whole lot, but I check it every day and post, once or twice. But melvar.mesky.social, 3 L's, 2 R's.
It's great. Don.
I can be reached on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I can be reached on Twitter on Blue Sky at HMRC for EVR.bluesky.social. I also have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/donlist.
Sweet. Chris.
Chris RTXV on Blue Sky. I have a website at playWithPhotography.com. And my Amazon wish list is tfradio.net/chrislist.
Rob.
I'm on Blue Sky at Rob Flails. That's connected to my YouTube channel, Flail Throughs. I cover Gundam games there, Gundam Battle Operation 2 and Gundam Breaker 4, which is almost through the process of getting like all of its DLC released once a week. So I'm going to be covering that as I have time. And if you like what I'm doing over there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, you can help support the channel. I may be restructuring that at the beginning of the year. But right now you can request specific mobile suits or color combinations or what have you in either of those games. And I will honor that even if it takes me a while to get the necessary footage. And if you just feel like sending me something, tfradio.net/playlist.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's it. We will see you all next week. Have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care, all.
Recording stopped.
Cool. Let's see here. I am seeing so many people leaving Twitter. Looks like Miguel just left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Blue Sky is great.
Hey guys, on that Dr. Wu set, which one are y'all getting? The brighter color one or the
Brighter
one that's-
colors.
The brighter color?
I got the washed out colors.
Okay. Is the one supposed to be like toy accurate? I mean, what are they calling the difference?
I do not know. I wanted the washed out ones because it's red and blue. I wanted to stand out a little bit from Slam Dance Grand Slam and Rain Dance.
Right. Yeah, because I was just debating between which color pattern, because the brighter color ones are really like kind of like in your face.
And I seem to recall like I think the generation ones were the lighter colored ones. I'm not 100% certain on that, but
yeah. I think I want to pre-order the set, but get the more muted colors. It just sort of looks like it just looks sort of better combined.
Hey, people watching live, I'm going to end the stream.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye, Twitch. And in a second, I'm going to say goodbye to you, YouTube. It just takes longer. Goodbye, YouTube. We'll see you. Okay.